special, Ducky. You get to come inside today. You've heard don't count your chickens before they hatch. But have you ever heard don't hold your chickens too tightly? Yes, I am aware this is a duck. Today, I'm going to share with you a story that, depending on how you look at it, it's either the saddest story or the funniest story that you've ever heard. Welcome to Wednesdays Why. I am Laura Lee, and this is one of my 5 quackers. It's a true story from my childhood, and it all began when my parents graced me with these teeny tiny baby chickens, small enough to hold in your hands. You probably could put both of them in one hand. They were so tiny and delicate and precious, and I loved those little chickens. I may have been 7 or 8 years old, and I took the little chickens with me everywhere. I held them out in the yard. They would follow me around. They were just precious. Well, unbeknownst to my parents, I thought I loved these little chickens so much it would be a great idea if they went to bed with me. Now, I didn't completely disregard all thought and all logic. I knew if I took 2 little chickens in the bed with me, they would poop in my bed. So I did the most logical thing a 7-year-old could do to keep an animal from pooping in their bed. I put them in socks. I thought it would be a great idea to put them in socks, tuck one under each arm just like a mother hen, and keep them soft and cozy all night. So I got ready for bed. I put on my pajamas. I was so proud of this idea and so excited to sleep with my 2 little friends. So I carefully and gently put each one of those baby chicks in one of my socks, one to go under each arm, just like a mother hen, to keep them warm all night long. I crawled up in my bed, tucked them in, and gradually fell into a deep sleep, dreaming of waking up and playing with my little feathered friends again. Well, I guess you can imagine how this story ended. It was pretty sad. It's a little humorous at this time. I went into the kitchen with 2 saggy socks with no movement, no peeping, and said, "Mom, I think they're dead." My mom then gasped, and then half laughing, half crying, explained to me that there's no way that baby chickens could breathe if they were inside of socks. It was a sad day for me, but kind of a funny story now that I look back on it. I do feel really bad for those little baby chickens, but yeah, that's 7-year-old thinking for you. With time, not only learning I couldn't put animals in socks and expect them to live overnight, I also learned that ducks are a lot more sturdy than chickens. They bounce right back. Those guys are really hardy. They do need their space. You can't coddle them too much, but they're easier to take care of than chickens. The reason I have ducks is because I'm allergic to chicken eggs. I'm not allergic to duck eggs, and it's a lot easier to have my own duck eggs than to go find them. They're really hard to find, people selling duck eggs. And I just love ducks. Maybe it sprung from that early love of chickens and the realization that it's harder to kill a duck. So why am I telling you a story about a 7-year-old girl loving 2 chickens to death? The truth of the matter is we all sometimes hold on to things too tightly. We love them to death. Maybe it's possessions. Maybe it's that new car. Maybe it's our home and things in our home and how much we love it. If we hold on to those too tightly and we're too proud and we base all of our freedom and happiness on those possessions, what happens when we lose those possessions? What happens when we focus so much on those that we put our possessions ahead of people? You may not kill the possession like I killed the chickens, but you may kill relationships. We may kill our own well-being and mental health. I've heard of people who are in beauty pageants and base all of who they are on their looks. Now, I'm not putting down beauty pageants. I think they're a lot of fun. But I've also heard horrible stories of these beautiful women who have been in car crashes or burn accidents. And when that beauty is taken away from them, they lose all of their sense of purpose and who they are, because they've put all of their confidence in who they are. They held on that too tightly. I hate that that happened to them, but that can happen in any area of life, not just our looks. What about holding too tight to gifts and talents? Everybody, I guarantee you have gifts and talents. You may say, well, I can't sing, I'm not much of a public speaker, I definitely can't dance, I can't play basketball. Everybody has gifts and talents. Sometimes it's just serving other people. Helping other people is a huge gift and talent that not all of us have been given. If we hold too tightly onto those, we can squish it. We can keep other people from being blessed by those talents and abilities. We can't hold on too tightly to them. We have to let them go. We have to let them breathe. Sometimes it may be uncomfortable, but that's the healthy thing to do for ourselves and other people. Another thing sometimes we hold too tightly to are our traditions or our way of doing things. We may say, well, that's the way I've always done it, but we're getting nowhere. There may be a new way or a better way. Or maybe the way that we've always done it, we are so holding on to that and so fixed on keeping it that way that we're keeping someone else from growing because they want to do it a different way. We can't always hold so tightly to our traditions and our way of doing things. We can squish the life out of ourselves or someone else if we're not willing to compromise on those things. I think the most dangerous thing to hold on to, and I've been guilty of this myself, is unforgiveness and bitterness. It's like a cancer that eats away at our soul, at our being. We're not happy, and when we're not happy, the person that we have anger toward or bitterness toward, they are being damaged by that because we're ignoring them or whatever, but we're damaging ourselves. We're squishing ourselves and suffocating our own soul more than we're hurting the other person. So we have to learn to give up bitterness and unforgiveness. Sometimes we have to give forgiveness even when it isn't asked of us. Even when someone doesn't apologize and say, I'm really sorry about this. Maybe they don't have the opportunity to do it. Or maybe they don't realize that they've committed something against you that was wrong. Perhaps they've grown old and forgotten about it. For your own health, for our own health and our own well-being, so we don't suffocate our own peace of mind, we have to voluntarily let go, give forgiveness, give away that bitterness, or we will end up like the little chickens in that sock, suffocating ourselves. I'm telling you this, I accidentally killed my little chickens, but don't kill your chickens. Yes, obviously don't put baby chicks in socks, no matter how much you love them. You can love them to death. But also think about, what are your chickens? So what is your chicken? My chicken today is a duck. Fun fact about ducks is that you do want to keep them warm and you want to gradually ease them into colder weather. Like right now it's 26 degrees outside. He's been in his coop, so he's used to a nice warm, about 45 degrees. If I put him straight outside, he could go into shock. So what I do is I unplug their heating lamp. I gradually let it cool off in there before I let him waddle around and frolic and play in the yard. If I put him right out there, it would not end well. But at the same time, if I coddle these ducks too much, if I keep them too warm and too comfortable, their feathers and their wings actually will not develop at the correct rate. So if I keep them too comfortable and too warm, it could actually harm them. I have to let them get a little uncomfortable. I have to let go of them and let them get that wiggle room and let them cool down, or it's bad for them. Same thing with us. Sometimes it's uncomfortable. I'm not recommending we jump right into letting some of these things go, but a little bit at a time, and with that little bit of discomfort comes growth and opportunity for change and all of the good things that God has intended for us. Thanks so much for joining us today. It's been a pleasure having you. Has it been a pleasure? Yes. It's been a pleasure having you. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. I put out new content every week. Every now and then I throw in one of these Wednesdays Wise life inspiration stories from my life to inspire yours. I'll have further content this week, DIYs, and some duck cam footage. Be blessed. Really? You're going to tell them all about it? Are you? You're going to tell them all about it? All right, can I talk now? Is it my turn? Is it my turn to talk? Welcome to Wednesdays Why. Welcome to Wednesdays Why. I'm Laura Lee, and this is one of 5 of my little quackers. On Wednesdays Why, I like to share stories from my life to help inspire yours. And today I'm going to share a story that, depending on how you look at it, is probably either the fattest... I know. You're okay, baby. Oh. I know you've heard the expression, don't count your eggs before they hatch, or don't count your chickens before they hatch. But have you ever heard the expression, don't hold your chickens too tightly? We're going to talk about that today. And yes, I am aware this is a duck. Yeah. Today I'm going to share with you. Welcome to Wednesdays Why. I'm Laura Lee, and this is one of my quackers, one of my 5 quackers. I'm going to share with you one of